Hello friends, welcome back. In the last lecture, we have learned about the installation of GitHub Copilot and GitHub Copilot chart. And in current lecture, we will be creating a to-do list project by using GitHub Copilot chart. So our project will look like this. We will be creating this to-do list project. In the to-do list project, we will have this nav bar, and below that we will have one heading to-do list, and below that we will create one form. In that form we will create a task name and due date as a two fields, and below that we will add one button to add that task into all task section. So once we enter this task name here and due date here, and we click on task name add task button, that task will get added into all tasks here. So I will give some short demo on this, and so same we will be creating in the project. Here we have created this project. So I will enter task 1 here and select the due date, any due date, and click on add button. Once I click on add task button, the task is getting added into all tasks tab. Task name, task 1, this is a due date, and complete and delete. These buttons are also created. Once I click on complete button, this record get deleted from all tasks and it should move to completed task here. In the same way, like once it moved, and if I want to delete this record from completed task, I click on delete button, it should get deleted from completed task. In the similarly, I will tell you another example. So example, task 2. Once we click on add task, this task get added. And if you want to remove this record from this all task itself, so we can click on delete button and this record get deleted. It will not move to completed task. So this is the complete project we will be developing in this GitHub Copilot chat lecture. Now open the Visual Studio Code. And once you open the Visual Studio Code, on the left side, we can see a multiple icons are present here. And the last icon is a chart. That chart is nothing but GitHub Copilot chart, and this will get enabled when we install the extension that is a GitHub Copilot chart in our Visual Studio Code. We can see here this GitHub Copilot chart is already installed in my Visual Studio Code, so we can see this chart is enabled here, and we can write code for our project. And when it will get enabled, the most important thing is that we should be logged into our GitHub Copilot chat account. Then only we will be able to write prompt here and create the code for our project. So that is the most important thing here. So this text box is nothing but this is to enter the prompt. When any developer want to create any code, then he has to provide the prompt here. Then based on the prompt, Copilot will generate the code for this project. So I will enter backslash, and we can see a multiple options are available here. Out of that, we can see a backslash new @workspace. This will be to create a new framework, or we can say new directory structure for our project. Here write a prompt like create HTML project named to do list using latest bootstrap code. What we have provided here, create HTML project named to do list using latest bootstrap code. So here we can see that GitHub Copilot chat has a proposed directory structure for your HTML project named to do list using latest bootstrap. As a developer, we always have to verify that whatever the code suggested by the GitHub Copilot chat is as per our requirement. Then we can create a workspace here, or we can accept that code. Click on create workspace. I will select to do list, select as a parent folder. And here we can see that on right side, these files are getting generated. Now, as per our requirement for our to-do list project, CSS folder is created, JavaScript folder is created, and respective files are also created inside that folder, style.css and javascript.js, JavaScript, sorry, script.js, index.html. So all these are the required files are created by using this GitHub Copilot chat. We don't have to go and create this folder structure and write manually. So because this GitHub Copilot chat will create for us. So that's the power of artificial intelligence and this GitHub Copilot chat. So all the required folder structure is created by GitHub Copilot chat. And once those are created, click on index.html. Once you click on index.html, we can see here in the head section, style.css is linked with, and after that script.js is also linked, so that from this index.html we have already created link for css and javascript document. So to add a bootstrap code, we have to add the link for bootstrap css and bootstrap javascript also. Now go to getbootstrap.com website and go to right side here. Under on this page, we can see CDN links is there. Click on that. We can see CSS and JS. So we have to include these links into our HTML document. We have to copy this. Now go to Visual Studio Code and click on GitHub Copilot chat. Here we can mention @workspace add, paste this link and go to get bootstrap.com and copy the JavaScript link also and paste here and click enter. So GitHub Copilot chat has given a suggestion here. You can add Bootstrap CSS and JS file to your HTML by including them in head section and before closing body. Okay, so here for this we have to add Bootstrap CSS in the head section. So we have to copy that. Similarly for JavaScript, we can copy here and paste on the just before this link, script.js. Now you can right click and open this with live server. We can see this section in the page. We can see on this page to-do list. We have got enter task and one button is there. So we are getting all this code from when we entered the initially the to create the project. That time only this code got created. But we need something different. So we'll start from beginning. We'll just remove the code. We'll remove code from CSS completely. Style.css file. And we don't have any code in the script.js, so that should be fine. Now click on index.html. We can see here one form is there. We will create another form. For now, we will delete this code. We will remove this code as well. So now in the HTML code, we have link to connect to style.css. One is for bootstrap CSS, link to connect to bootstrap JS and connect to script.js. And we have header to-do list. So these all things we have in index.html. Right click here and open with live server. So now we don't have much detail here. We have just a heading here, to-do list. So now we will add one new bar here. So to add new bar, we will go to our Visual Studio Code and we will write workspace, give me a code for dark bootstrap navbar. So now we can see this GitHub Copilot has generated this code for us. This is a dark themed bootstrap navbar, and we can see this code is there. So you can see here, you can add this code to your index.html file and preferably inside body tag, but outside and above your main container div. So we have to add this code here. Now we have copied that code and we can open this line. So we can see this navbar got added here, but we don't want this additional tabs or links for this. So we can remove this from here. So what are all these? Pricing, features, and home. We don't need. So we'll just delete that from here. Or we can just do one more thing. We have this div element and this is the complete div element, and we will completely select navbar and we will can see one symbol is there. We can click on that and we can modify this code. We can say keep only to do list title and remove other buttons or links on navbar. So you can see here this code has changed and we have to accept that if the code is as per our expectation. So I accepted that. I'll just right click and open this. We can see all the button got link got deleted from here. We can see only to do list is there. So next task we will create tabs here. One tab is to all task and another tab is to completed task. We will go to our get bootstrap site. We'll search for the tabs here. So we'll create a tab like this. Okay. So I will write a prompt here at the rate workspace. Why we add this workspace? Workspace means the GitHub Copilot will remember all the our code here. So whatever the code changes will be done, he will analyze and he will do some intelligence on the our project code and create a code for us on the basis of that. So I will write generate bootstrap the first one will have all tasks and second one will have label completed task. Add placeholder text for each tab content. So this is the prompt we have provided to create the tab. Enter this. So you can see this code got generated, and where we have to add, you can add in index.html file, preferably inside container we have to add this. So just below to-do list, we will add this. We have added this. We will right click and open with live server. We can see all task and completed task. These two tabs are got created here. So just above this, we will create one form, and in that form, we will create one column is to add the task name, and another field will be a due date. So, and third will be a button where once we click on that button, that task will get added into this all task tab. So let's go to Visual Studio Code. Right in the workspace, give me a code for from form with one label or task name, and second for due date, and third is for button to add task in all task tab. So you can see here the form got created here. We have to copy this form, and where we have to add? We have to add just before our this task tab. Now right click here, open this. Here we can see to-do list, task name and due date got added, and below that one button is also got added. And after that, we have our all task and completed task tabs are there. Now when we enter any task here, task 1, and select the due date 15 April 2024, and once we click on add task, this task should get added into this all task. So for this, we have to create one JavaScript code. Let's go to Visual Studio Code, and in prompt window, @workspace, write the prompt like give me a code to add task name and due date with two buttons. One with label complete and other with delete in all task tab. So here we can see that you can add following code in all task tab in your index.html. So copy this code, and just below this paragraph, enter this code and right click and check for the what is the output here. We can see this task name, due date, complete and delete. This got populated here. So now we can write a prompt to add JavaScript code to, or before that we will add one prompt to align those in the single line. So for this, we will create one table. Give me a code for table with columns, task name, due date, delete, and complete. We will copy this code and we'll place in this place. Now open with live server. We can see here how we are able to see this. We are able to see in the tabular format. So now whatever the task name we will enter, that should get displayed here. We will remove this additional part. This is the additional part it got created. So that got removed here. Now here we can write a prompt. Give me a JavaScript code to add task name and due date with two buttons. One with label complete and other with delete in all task tab. Now the JavaScript code got created here and we can see a comment is this code adds an event listener to form that prevent default form submission behavior and instead add a new row for task table to task table with enter task name and due date as well as complete and delete button. So this is what we are expected, right? So we can click on script here, or how we can go to script also, we can see here. You can add following JavaScript code to your script.js file. We can click on script.js. We move to script.js and we have to just click on this insert at cursor point. Okay. Click and save this. And now you can run this code. Now we'll try to add one task here and select date. We have successfully added our task here. So this is very easy, like when you are using artificial intelligence or GitHub Copilot plan, because there are a lot of logic involved in this, and this by using this GitHub Copilot, this is a lot of code is generated at in a few seconds only, and our task is completed. Like, so we can add task 2 here, select new due date, add here. So in this way, we can add a multiple task in this all task section. So next step, we will work on this delete and complete button. Once we click on the delete button, this record should get deleted. And once we click on complete button, this record should remove and it move to completed task. So now we don't have any task in the completed task. So it should move from all tasks to completed task once we click on complete button. And once we click on delete button, this complete record should get deleted. So we'll start with the delete button here. We came to workspace here. Give me a JavaScript code to remove record when user click on delete button in all task tab. So enter. So here code is generated for deleting the task. Here we can see you can add following JavaScript code to your script.js file. We can copy this and go to end of this file and enter here. Place. Now go to index.html, run this open with live. Now we enter one task one, due date, click on add task. Now task is added and click on delete button. So once we click on delete button, this record got deleted and it is not moved in completed task because this is our expected. Once we click on delete button, it should delete it from all tasks here. So next task is, once we click on complete button, this record should remove from all tasks and it should move to completed task. So let's write a code for that as well. In Visual Studio Code, in workspace, write a prompt like give me code for add event listener when I click on complete button in all task tab, then complete record should move to completed task tab. So enter here. Now we can see this code is generated. I'll just copy and see just before copying. Now we can see a code got generated here and we can see some comment here. This code adds a event listener to table body of all task tab. When click event occur within a table body, it check if clicked event text contain complete. If then it moves to parent row of clicked row to completed task. Let's see how it works. Task 1. So it didn't work. Means, as I already discussed, like it is not necessary that whatever the code is suggested or generated by GitHub Copilot is always the correct. So we have to verify that code is correct or not, because when we see this code, it is just checking that if that text content is complete and it is appending that based on that. So, but we have to rewrite that prompt properly so that when we click on this button in all tasks, it should move to completed task. Give me a correct JavaScript code when I click on complete button in all task tab, then a record should move to completed task tab. So you can see here that what basically when we are giving some prompt and that GitHub Copilot is generating the code, so we are directly using. But basically, whenever you work on this GitHub Copilot chart, you should at least know some basic knowledge about the programming on which you are working on. You can see here. So what it is doing, it is checking for all task T body. So all task T body, we have to create that first in index.html, and for that ID only we can use that. So to create first, we have to add code for that ID all task. Similarly, how we have created this tabular for presentation for the all task. Similarly, we have to create a table for the task name, due date, and suppose we don't want this complete button in completed task. We want a task name, due date, and delete button. So we can create a template for that before using JavaScript. So we'll write a code for that first. Give me a code for table with columns, task name, comma due date, and delete button in completed task tab. Give me HTML code, we can say. So copy this code here. Just below this, write this code also. Now right click and see there. It is not created yet. So we have to add this code into actually we have to add this code into this completed task div element. So we can see here, this got added here. In the all task, we have 4 column, task name, due date, complete, and delete. But in completed task, we have task name, due date, and delete. That is what we are expected here, task name, due date, and delete. So we have added that. So now we have to write a JavaScript code to add, move that record from this all task to completed task when we click on complete button. So let's try one example here, task 1. Once we click, it should move to this completed task here. Now it got moved, right? Because we have already added the JavaScript code for this or in the previous comment, right? So in the previous prompt, we have generated code to move the record from completed, all task to completed task, correct? So that's why it record got moved from all task to completed task. So we can, so now record got moved to completed task, but we don't want this delete button to be moved on completed task. So I have to write some code so that we can remove this complete button. Give me a code to remove complete button from completed task tab. So what it is saying, you can modify event listener in your script.js file to remove complete button when task is moved to completed task. So this is the code we have, and this code we have to copy this. This code remove the complete button from the row before appending it to completed task. The child too. Okay. If I copy paste there and run, I will add one task here. Complete. No, it is not working as per our expectation, right? So we have to do some changes. Now we can see this code got generated to remove the complete button from completed task here. So copy this code and paste here. We have pasted already. I have already pasted this. So we can go to index.html and we can add one task here. Task 1. Click on the due date, click on add button. Once we click on complete button, it get moved to completed task. Correct. So now we will add one more functionality. Once we click on delete button in the completed task, this complete record should get deleted. Give me a code to remove record when I click on delete button in completed task tab. So now we can see here you can add following JavaScript code to your script.js. And this code adds an event listener to your table body of completed task tab. When click event occur within a table body, it check if clicked event is a text content, is a delete, and if it is, remove the parent row from clicked button. Copy this and paste here. Now open with live server, add one task, enter due date, add one task, complete, click on complete, completed task, click on delete button, this record got deleted. So in this way, this project completes here. So this is the very easy way, right? Even though you have some basic knowledge of any programming language, then also you can do very good programming by using artificial intelligence, or we can say GitHub Copilot chat. So by using this GitHub Copilot and GitHub Copilot chat, you can develop very big projects as well. but you need to know how to write a prompt for to create any code. Okay. In this way, we can write a very big project as well. So I hope you understood all this. This is very good that GitHub Copilot chat is a very useful for developer who are working on any kind of programming language and they want to improve their productivity, so that they can use a GitHub Copilot chat for their product development or project development, we can say. Thank you.